Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Happy Friday, wherever you're joining us from today. I hope that you've had a lovely week, and I hope that you're looking forward to the weekend, and I hope that it is a good one for you. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. I've enjoyed this week. A big thank you to our guests that we've had on Storytime. We've had Monica Wezalowska, we've had Ken Pack, we've had Nadia Solomon, and then of course yesterday we were joined by Angela Henderson Smith, and then of course looking forward to many more guests to come. And of course thank you to you, the Storytime community, for joining in here on Storytime Live, and of course joining us later on for the recordings as well. Thank you so much for being here, and another great week in the books, but we still have one more book to go this week, one more story to read together. Thank you so much for joining in, and as always, please let us know where you're joining in from. If anybody else is joining in with you, well, let us know so we can say hi to them, and of course let us know if those amazing pets, stuffed animals, anybody else is joining in Storytime. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and excited to be here with you all. Happy Friday, and we do have a wonderful book coming back to Storytime, and this one is written by a dear friend, MEENAL Patel, and it is called PRIYA, Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, and it is coming right up. And this one is published by MEENAL Patel in conjunction with BEAVER'S Pond Press. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you're excited. I hope you're ready. It is coming right up. PRIYA, Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, coming back to Storytime after a little bit. Thank you for being here, and if there are any other guests that you would like to see here on Storytime, I'm feeling brave. If there are any guests that you'd like to see here on Storytime, please let us know, and we will try to bring them here to Storytime. Just like we've been doing with recommendations, well, we're working out to bring them here to Storytime. Please send us some names that you would love to see here on Storytime. And of course, if their work aligns with what we stand for here on Storytime, if their work is aligned with equity and justice and, respect, love, we will definitely be bringing them here, or we'll try to bring them here to Storytime. So please let us know. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. How are you doing? Morning hugs, games. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. How are you doing? Ari, thank you for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. And of course, Megan, good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining in Storytime today. Good morning to you. How are you doing as well? Soraya, and of course, Sharon Lungo, thank you for joining in Storytime. And we've been back at 7 for this week. I've been off work, so it's been nice to be back on this schedule as well, and catch others who might not be able to catch us live otherwise because of timing. But next week we're back to 6 a.m. Pacific time because of back to work, back to what is now the regular schedule. So we're back at 6 a.m. next Monday. Thank you so much for joining in, and good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here, Soraya, and of course Sharon Lungo, Megan, and of course Ari. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and of course we're enjoying the silly lyrics coming in from Ari. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Good morning to you one more time. Please get ready, get comfortable, get cozy. We'll be right back after this short break for the reading of our book for today. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you on the other side in a little bit.
I'm MEENAL Patel, and I am an artist, designer, and the author and illustrator of Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Hello, my name is Maria Lofton. I'm the creator and author of the Kids Love Oakland book series, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Thank you and welcome back. Yes, indeed, Maria Lofton, you know the Kids Love Oakland series. Beautiful, beautiful series indeed. And yeah, just wishing them well with everything that they're doing. And then, of course, MEENAL Patel, they're also author of this wonderful book that we have here today, Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala. This one coming right up to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Please get comfortable, get cozy, get ready as we travel away. Where is this one taking us today? Well, buckle up. Let's go. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by MEENAL Patel. And of course, reading this one with permission of MEENAL Patel, and it is published in conjunction with Beaver's Pond Press. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And it has one of the most beautiful end papers. If you get it, when you do get it from your local library or wherever else you find books, well, do check out those end papers indeed. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by MEENAL Patel, published by Beaver's Pond Press. With love for Priya Bear and Nela Bunny and Pak Ba and Bunny Ba. Aww. I always love a good, just reading the dedications to see who the book is done for. But we're all here to enjoy it, aren't we? All right, here we go. This house is on a small street in a small city in the United States. It's the only house on the street with an Indian family. It's the only house on the street that has a garland of bright orange marigolds hanging in the doorway. It's the only house on the street with a family inside who passes around Rotli for dinner. It's the only house on the street where an old woman emerges in a colorful sari to pick marigolds from the garden. Priya rushes into the house after school. She hears the clang of metal pots and smells simmering spices. Oh, I want to come home to that too. Babi Ba has already started cooking dinner, but she always waits for Priya to help her make rotli. Oh. Yes, come on home. Fun awaits. The kids at school didn't know what rotli was until Priya explained it's a type of flatbread from India. Babi Ba mixes the flour, water, and ghee to form a long recipe of dough. To form a long rope of dough. Priya pinches off little pieces and rolls them into balls between her palms. Babi Ba quickly roast the balls out thin and round before cooking them on the stove and drizzling them with ghee. They do this together every day. And every day, Priya asks Babi Ba, "What is India like?" What is India like? Babi Ba tells her India is the smell of rusted cumin and the masala at the spice market that tickles your nose. I think I mentioned this before too last time. It reminds me of markets back home in Lusaka as well. It's the sound of motorbikes whizzing by, mixed with the beep beep of the tuk tuk and the moo of a cow. Yeah. What is India like? It's the sound of motorbikes whizzing by, mixed with the beep beep of a tuk tuk and the moo of a cow. It's the arches and domes. It's the arches and domes on buildings and the grit of the streets. It's the hot sun on your face and the drenching monsoon rains. It's the rainbow of saris stacked to the ceiling in a shop and the quiet swish swish of a sari with every step. What's India like? It's the rainbow of saris stacked to the ceiling in a shop and the quiet swish swish of a sari with every step. It's the taste of a steaming cup of cha that the chavala hands you and the warmth of his smile. It's the hustle and bustle of crowds of people going this way and that, and the mix of beliefs and traditions they carry with them. Yeah. Priya asks, what's India like? It's the taste of a steaming cup of cha and the chavala hand that the chavala hands you and the warmth of his smile. It's the hassle and bustle of crowds of people going this way and that, and the mix of beliefs and traditions they carry with them. Angela Turner, agree with you. It is beautiful, isn't it? Thank you, Angela. It's the marigolds strung up on the storefronts and doorways of homes. Priya asks, Babi Ba, will you take me to India? Babi Ba replies, maybe one day we will be able to go there. Priya thinks for a moment. Do you miss it? Sometimes, yes. But then I remind myself that India is here in the marigolds from our garden and the smell of roasted cumin. And the swish swish of your sari, Priya adds. Babi Ba smiles. India is with us in the things that we do every day. No. Home is where the heart is, isn't it? Yes. India is with us in the things that we do every day. They sit down for dinner with the whole family and pass the roti. I want to join in for that dinner. I'm hungry too. In the winter, when it snows, Priya notices that Babi Ba doesn't go out in the morning because there are no marigolds to pick. Priya wonders if this makes Babi Ba miss India even more. The next day at school, Priya makes little orange marigolds out of paper during art class. When the class crowds around to see what she is doing, she tells them about the marigolds and the masala and the beep beep of the tuk-tuk. One by one, they join in to make the longest garland of marigolds that Priya has ever seen. Aw. And they craft and build and make. Love it when people come together, when communities come together. Babi Ba's face lights up when she sees the garland of paper marigolds hung up on the doorway. Priya says, the kids at school were excited to hear about India and they helped me make this garland. Oh. Babi Ba's smile grows even bigger. She gathers Priya in her arms and says, sharing India with others is the very best way to carry it with you. Oh. Babi Ba's smile grows even bigger. She gathers Priya in her arms and says, sharing India with others is the very best way to carry it with you. Halfway across the globe is a house on a small street in a small city in Gujarat, India. It's one of many homes on the street that has a garland on the bright orange marigolds hanging in the doorway. It's one of the many houses on the street with a family inside who passes around roti for dinner. It's one of the many houses on the street where an old woman emerges in a colorful sari to pick marigolds from the garden. Oh, and that is the end of our story. And just in the back too, if you manage to get this from your library or indeed where you find books, look back there and you will see all the different things explained a little bit. For example, we heard the beep beep of the tuk-tuk, and there is a tuk-tuk there, and it is a small three-wheeled motorized vehicle, also known as a rickshaw. They are very common in India and are used similarly to a taxi cab. And there's so much more that is explained there. G, what is ba, right? Masala and all those things. And just, I thought we should share that. But when we come back from the break, we're going to be reading the author's note and just a little bit more learning in the back as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. I'll catch you on the other side of this short break when we're back with more Storytime.
Hey everyone, it's Tiffany Golden, author of I Want to Be Big and Wash Day, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Thank you indeed, Tiffany Golden. Thank you. And we know that there are brand new books as well that have come out since Big came out. So please do look out for those. But like I promised, let's just go back to the back of the book. There's the author's note. And then also just what are some of the influences in this book? And I'm just going to read that really quickly. And it says, meanings, definitions, and pronunciations. Elements in this book were influenced by life in Gujarat. But there are many different cultural traditions, religions, and languages within this state and throughout India. Some of the cultural practices, symbolism, and Gujarati words in this book may overlap with other regions and languages throughout India and South Asia. Marigolds. These flowers are native to Mexico and Central America. They carry different meanings for cultures around the world. The use of garlands and meanings of specific flowers vary throughout India and are used in ceremonies by different religions. In Gujarat and other regions, some people hang fresh marigolds and mango leaf garlands at the entrance of homes, shops, and even on trucks for festive occasions. They are a symbol of honor and luck. They hang in the doorways as a welcoming gesture for visitors. The Hindi word for these garlands is toran, which means or refers to a decorated textile that is hung in doorways for the same purposes. So that's just a little bit about, some of those influences, some of the things that we saw in the book. And here is the author's note. And MEENAL Patel says, I am an Indian American woman. I was born and raised in the United States, but my family is from Gujarat, India. When I went to India as an adult, I was struck by how it was both foreign and familiar to me. Many things that were a part of my childhood home growing up, felt so different from others in the United States, but turned out to be so common in India. I kept seeing marigold garlands strung up, and it reminded me of my ba. When she lived with us in the United States, she would pick marigolds from our garden every morning to put in our mandir. I recognized the abundance of marigolds in India as a beautiful piece of my family's identity that we carried in our everyday lives. There were so many things like this: mandirs, images of familiar gods and goddesses, the rustling of saris, the smell of char, all of these things that made me feel different in the United States were unnecessary to explain in India. They were part of everyday life. I had a wonderful life as a child, but I put up wars between all of my identities because I was afraid of being different. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized how important it is to allow all parts of my identity to mix, to share all parts of me with people. I hope this book inspires kids to take pride in all their identities, all the unique threads that come together to make them who they are. I hope it inspires them to share their own unique cultures, to be curious about other cultures. And I just thought we should share that today. Thank you for joining in Storytime. And this is our beautiful book for today. Powerful book indeed, coming in from MEENAL Patel, written and illustrated by MEENAL Patel. And this one is called PRIYA Dreams of Marigolds and Masala. And we were reading it with permission of MEENAL Patel, of course, in conjunction with BEAVER'S Pond Press. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope it has been a great way to wrap up our week and wrap up this Friday Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. Happy that we are here together. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining in. Ari, you're very welcome. And Megan, you say we have marigolds. And Ari is very silly today. Thanks for the patience. Well, this is what it's for. Ari, I'm glad you're comfortable with us. I'm glad you're comfortable in this space with all of us. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Sending you hugs, high fives, everything good. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And to everybody that was joining in today, joining us live, thank you for making the time. Thank you for being here. And we hope to see you here on many, many more Storytimes. And of course, to everybody that is joining us later for the recordings, well, we send you love and we hope that you can leave us a message and let us know you were here so we can say hi to you. And remember, yesterday we had our guest, Angela Henderson Smith, was here with us talking about her books and of course read to us as well. Well, her website is live today. We'll be going live today if it hasn't already. I didn't check right before coming on, but it will be going live. So please be sure to check out the website and see everything Angela Henderson. And of course, do sign up for the newsletter while there as well. Thank you so much for joining in. AngelaHendersonSmith.com is live and you get to see all things Angela Henderson. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today and absolutely appreciate you. One more time, Time. Thank you to you, Megan and Ari. Yes, hugs to you. And of course, we wish you that you many games this weekend and many fun and silly things to do. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Soraya and of course Sharon Lungo, wishing you a wonderful Friday, a wonderful day at school. I hope that everything goes well, and I hope that you have an even better weekend. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. And good morning to you as well, Angela Turner. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining us from, Angela? And is this your first time on Storytime? Well, if it is, welcome to the Storytime community, and we hope to see you here many more times. But of course, wishing you a wonderful Friday, you and yours a wonderful Friday. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful book, as Angela puts it, that we just had. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by a dear friend here at Storytime, MEENAL Patel. Sending you love, MEENAL, and hopefully you are having lots of fun out there in Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime for this week. I hope you enjoyed everything that we brought for you. I hope you enjoyed the time that we spent with our guests. We've had Monica Wezalowska, we had Ken Pack, and then of course we had Nadia Solomon here with us on Storytime. And then of course we rounded off our guest list this week with Angela Henderson Smith joining us yesterday for a reading and conversation. All those conversations are in our archives at storytimewithmrlimada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limada Facebook and YouTube. Do find those and join in and enjoy. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And for every book that you see here, remember to ask for it at your local library. Support our creators, support our creators, especially our independent creators too. They're putting out this amazing work at very great cost indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love from me. Happy Friday, everybody, and I will see you again next week, Monday, bright and early, 6 a.m. Pacific time. We will be right here. Why not go out with some song? Why not? Why not? Indeed. Thank you so much for joining in, friends, and have a lovely weekend. But yeah, let's drive away into the weekend. How are you getting into this weekend?
With Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limada.
Much love from me. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Oh,
yes, indeed. Have a great weekend. Oh, yes. I love that. Please join in.
where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't be lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Look and think, read me all of his stories. Read me all of his stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh. Story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing